Are there any comments, suggestions on the minutes?
They look great.
No, none here.
They look good. All in favor of approving them?
Aye.
Unanimously approved. Susan is taking minutes, Mary, so. And I think the next item on the agenda is the walking tour, and thank Ashley very much for her proposal, which was very good, I thought.
I'm happy to talk through it if that
Sure.
makes sense. Obviously, this is very basic, and there are steps that might be more complicated than others as we write this down. But generally, we already have a lot of content from what I understand, having done tours previously. And if we are willing to take that content and kind of develop into more of a narrative form for a script, which there's obviously some time that would need to be committed to that. And I don't know how many stops we have for Whately Center that we'd want to consider. But based on what I was looking at, a 90-second to 3-minute kind of content blip for each stop seems to be the sweet spot. Once we have that script, we would want to seek out some kind of voice talent. I don't know if there are drama students at Frontier that'd be open to that. If there's anyone in town, we could look for volunteers. We could also offer a small stipend, but that would require some seeking to find someone to do that. But we can record it in a pretty low key way as long as we have a sound or a quiet space to be able to do that. The mics that people use for podcasting are relatively inexpensive. We could purchase one and use it for this, and then we'd have it for any future projects. And in terms of editing, there's a piece of software that's free that I've used called Audacity that would allow us to edit that down and put it into the clips that we would need for the tour. I put an example for folks to listen to of how SoundCloud can be used for audio tours. And it seems pretty straightforward because each tour stop is essentially a different track. So if you think about it almost like a music album, and each tour stop is a different track, you can put different images for each stop and upload it, and even share a little bit of content for each one. And SoundCloud works well on a mobile device. So it'd be easy to have that link somewhere on the town's website, or have a QR code up at the library, or even on a post somewhere where people could scan and be able to start the tour. So that's kind of what I have discovered. Overall, cost-wise, I think we would not have any more than 2 hours of content for this tour if we only have, 10 stops or so at no more than 3 minutes per stop. So even our SoundCloud membership could be the basic one, which is free. And really all we'd be paying for would be a microphone and potentially someone to actually record their voice. So in terms of cost, it could be done in a very low cost way, but in a way that I still think would be very nice. So that's where we are. I'm ready for questions and comments.
Well, I have one comment on the content. The walking tour that I did went up as far as Town Hall in the end. It didn't extend further south in the district. And I think there are a couple of places there, the church, and maybe the Stockade ornament. Perhaps something else, but those should be fairly. There's a lot of information, at least about the church and probably about the stockade, and the stockade would be a good way of going back.
Yeah,
Early.
but it could be on there. There's no sidewalk down into the stockade, but
Well,
I have
Is it on
find it
public or
interesting.
private land?
we shouldn't, we're not at the point of picking, but those are two things that just came to mind. As not being included in the information that was there.
Well, I think the next step would be fleshing out what content we have, what content we desire, like what the scope could be. We don't necessarily have to be to the point where we're actually writing it, but just talking about like what are the different places. I think Judy might be frozen. She hasn't moved in a minute. Oh,
Oh, we lost her.
Might take her a minute to realize that she's lost herself.
Oh,
and it could also be her internet connection. I wonder if she can get back in.
but your idea about using Frontier drama students is a good one. I wonder if they might also have equipment we could borrow.
I bet they could. And honestly, I have friends who might have equipment we could borrow.
Because it seems like, I mean, as much as the fact that it's, inexpensive, what happens is when you buy these things, then where does it land? Like
Where
who
does it
keeps
live?
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It ends up being like kind of this annoyance to try to track it over time. Whereas if you either rent or borrow it, you don't have to worry about that.
That's true. That is a good point.
You don't think it could just be done on a phone?
I mean, I think it could be done on a phone. I don't know. The thing about those microphones is the like background noise. They're better about filtering that out. So I think it'd be worthwhile trying it. Um, that was just, I have one of my friends is one of the podcast producers for the New York Times, and that was her recommendation.
There you go.
Yeah. But I mean, everyone wants to be a podcaster, so I don't think equipment will be hard to find. Like if we want to borrow something.
I don't want to be.
Sorry. Every Generation Z person is a podcaster, so I'm sure they are out there in a plenty. And I think if we reach out to like the drama department, I don't know who that is over at Frontier, but I honestly
That
think as a
shouldn't be hard to find.
project, they might be interested in
Well,
being
there's
like,
the FCAT crowd too.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about that. Yeah.
that is
Right.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
The the nerds from
They
the
might even have a sound
FCAT
room.
Yeah.
For recording. Yeah, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they do. I mean, they have a
Yeah.
whole studio.
Right. I mean, it is public, so like
And Jonathan would like this project too. I apologize, my screen froze and
You were still for a long time and we wondered.
well, I couldn't get back in, and so I had to. Anyway, if it happens again, hopefully it'll be quicker. I've moved the router closer.
Well, I was just saying that I think our next steps would be if we want to move forward with the project, even if we want to continue to feel out the project, is to look at the content that we have and to think about what the stops might be, and think about how that could work, before we're reaching out to anybody to do a recording. And it might also be good to talk about what a timeline could look like,
Yeah.
for it. For example, if we do want to use Frontier, they're only in class until mid-June.
But,
You had said earlier that you felt like 2 hours would be the max. Don't you start with the number of stops you have and then decide the length of your tour?
Well, the free SoundCloud membership allows you to upload 2 hours maximum of
Oh, I
content.
see.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't think we would, and I think that would suffice for what,
I see what you're saying. Okay.
yeah, like I don't think we're gonna have 2 hours of
but
content.
nobody wants to take a 2 hour tour.
I'm guessing not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think you start with, all right, so we have like 10 stops and they're each 3 minutes, like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it takes so much time to walk from here to here. Yeah, okay.
But it would be because of the way SoundCloud works, again, there are different tracks. So at the end of each track, you could give them directional advice. So you'd talk about the home or the building or the spot where you are, and then you'd be like, okay, the next stop, you're gonna walk north down the road and turn to your right and go on to the next track once you reach that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, okay.
And we can have a link. I imagine we could also have a link with an accompanying map. I don't think I didn't look into that yet, but there is a way to do that in Google
Mhm.
Maps, if we wanted to provide something like that would again work well on a mobile device.
Well, given that the town owns the land on the street side, we could maybe even have little QR code signs at each place.
Yeah, we could. Or at each one on each end, or we could think about that.
And certainly we could on the major town buildings, but I guess it would be it could go on trees or something. That would be nice, but it's to avoid problems for people mowing lawns. But well, good. I can circulate the content I had for the walk, at least the text part. I think I did a representative sample before, but I'll try and get all the addresses. I did everything, all the older buildings. And then with each one, I had some photos. I don't know if I'll see what I still have. But anyway,
Yeah.
there are photos of the people who lived in a lot of the buildings. There are photos of what the buildings look like once upon a time. And some of them really interesting, like the house that Ellen Burt lives in now, next to the Smikes house, was actually a store and one of the early post offices. Actually, there were many stores in town. George Colt's Brick House was the first post office, I think. So
I think it would. Oh, sorry, beans out of the way. I didn't think about. So I think those old photos would be very interesting, and obviously what we're offering is just audio. So I'd want to look a little bit to how to have kind of those extra resources where people could access
Yeah.
those images, because I think that that would be really handy. Because when I think about the icons that exist in SoundCloud, I'd want them to be what the buildings look like today, so you know where you're walking, that
Yeah.
you're looking at the right thing. But then figuring out a way to offer links to those old images. I need to play around with the technology a little bit, but I think there'd be an easy way to do that.
Well, hopefully if we get the budget, we would have a little more money than what you've contemplated so far.
I
And
made
check
it
out
as
stuff.
I was like, let me think about how we could do this as, you know,
Yeah. Bare
for as
minimum.
little as possible, because it's very doable, I think, for very minimum, and think it would still be a quality project.
I'm getting excited.
I'm excited about rewriting the script. I really like doing that kind of stuff. So
Good.
I'm happy to take a stab at that.
Anything else for now?
You said that at a previous meeting that the select board and finance committee are reviewing our proposed budget at
Wednesday
their
night.
meeting.
Wednesday night.
Do you want us there? Do you think it'll matter?
I don't really think it will matter, but you're more than welcome to come if you'd like, but I have a hard time believing they give us a tough time over $800, but
I've already primed one of the members.
well, I did look up inflation since I know it's been $200 since 2008, which is when I joined the commission. And that would be the equivalent of $325 today. So
But we're a bargain.
yeah. So some of this is just catch up, and so we can do, we ought to be in a position where we can do mailings or printings if we want, things that and $200 just isn't enough. So I don't think we should pitch it as entirely for this project, but some basic minimum just to keep up. A lot of the committees, like the Ag Commission, now have assistants. They're paying people to do the agendas and take the minutes. So by comparison, we're really cheap. So I think we deserve a boost. So it's at 6:00. I don't know where we are on the agenda. I think it's at 6. I'll confirm and get back to you.
Okay.
Appreciate the propaganda for one select board member.
Lobbying effort.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on the project, I'll look through the research and get it to people. Ashley will think about adding photos to the concept, to the tour concept, and we should all, I guess, be thinking in general about a timeline. But I think the first step is going to be working out the number of stops and because conceptually you could spend an awful lot of time on almost every building in the center of town if you really, at least all the old ones. But
did your tour go as far as Center School and the cemetery?
yeah, it went.
Okay.
I don't think it really technically included the cemetery, but it did go down to the center school. Okay. That was the only formal agenda item. I did do a draft of our annual report for the town report, which went out Saturday, I think. If anybody has any comments other than apologies to Ashley for misspelling her name.
Not really my name, it's my husband's name. So.
I think it might be yours now too.
I guess. You got it phonetically correct.
Yeah, I have this mental, there's some words, you don't know how to spell right, and you have occasion. For me, I can never remember how to spell occasion, and so I always get it wrong because I work at it too hard. And the same with your name.
I,
I read it over. It seemed like it was good. I didn't have any comments.
yeah, me neither.
Yeah, from a contents perspective, it was great.
So I will submit with that correction. Anything else? Next meeting?
Usually I remember to look this up in advance. I didn't today. I'm slipping. Our April meeting is scheduled for the 20th.
That's school
Anybody
vacation
have a
week, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Oh, are you
I
away
will not-
then?
I will be out of town, yeah.
And make it the 27th?
Are
I
you
get back-
by then?
I get back that day, so that
If you have a tan, you're not allowed to attend.
I will not have a tan. The son and I don't get along. I will very likely be back by 5 that day, so that should
Well,
be
we
okay.
could go the other direction, the 13th.
The other direction would probably be better. The 13th.
Just double check.
I'm sorry for holding everyone hostage to my
No, that's all right.
calendar.
We've all done it at one time or another.
It's fine. We are entitled to have lives.
Allison?
That
Is there-
works.
The 13th is fine.
Yeah, I'm good for that.
Okay, we'll see you then.
Excellent.
Judy, will you notify Jess, or do you want me to, that we've moved the meeting because it'll be on the calendar?
I can do it.
Okay. Excellent. Well, enjoy the coming warmth. Anything over 30 is warm.
That's for sure. I hope it doesn't end the sap.
That'd be sad.
True.
Would be sad. It was so nice yesterday to see Nicholas boiling sap in his backyard and the little kids running, the goat kids running around. Spring is definitely here.
Yeah, yeah.
Almost. At their house it is anyway.
Nice.
Okay, thanks very much.
Okay.
Guys.
Good night.
Bye,
Take care,
everyone.
everybody. Bye.